Purple Eagles Weekly is brought to you by Ad Pro Sports Elite Team Gear, Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers, Seat Baldo Ford in Niagara Falls, Crown Plaza Hotel Niagara Falls, the official hotel of Niagara Athletics, and by Pepsi.
And welcome to Purple Eagles Weekly here on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet. I'm your host, Jeremy White. Big week this week, lots planned. We'll check in with men's basketball and meet the coach segment with Phil Martelli, assistant coach. We'll also check in with a two-time MAC champion women's volleyball team and also go behind the masks for the men's ice hockey team. The goaltenders, Cody Campbell and Chris Noonan, had a chance to go out to Dwyer, check in with those two. We'll get to know them a little bit better, some of their routines and some of the things that make them interesting to follow when it comes to men's ice hockey. Well, we start off tonight with a big weekend. There's a big weekend at the Flickinger Center. The swimming and diving team, of course, we got the MAC championships, and we've got head coach Ben Nigro and senior diver Ian O'Rourke here. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us on tonight.
And tell us about the weekend, what is really going to happen, what to expect, what you're looking for out of this weekend, a very big one for you guys.
This weekend is the climax, basically, of our season for the swimming and diving. We are at our championships, as you said, at the Flickinger Center on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's a 3-day championship. Each night starts at 6 p.m. And it's really what, in swimming, we kind of put all our eggs into one basket and put it into this championship. And we've been training all season for this one moment.
What's it mean to be hosting it? You and Canisius co-hosting the event.
We're really excited to have it this year. Much less travel for us. We're excited about the facility. It's one of the best, not only in the region, but one of the best in the country. So we're expecting a lot of fast swimming in this facility.
And also it's integral in terms of the Canal Cup, the battle for the bridge, trying to keep the cup, Niagara and Canisius. It counts for the standings in that as well as the MAC.
Yes. For swimming and diving, for our points towards the Canal Cup, it is your finish at the MAC championship. So if we finish ahead of Canisius, then we get those points.
Now, Ian, for you, an injury last season kept you out, so how important is it?
Well, for me, it's just a blessing to be back. Like a year ago, I didn't even know what was going to happen. To be back better than, I actually say it's my best shape I've been in a long time, and I feel great. So to be in the mix again, it's awesome. It's awesome. So.
Well, you had an Achilles injury last year, but you're back, and you're saying you're better than ever, right?
Hope so.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree. I mean, he's diving better than I've ever seen him dive. As far as consistency, he set his school records as a sophomore, and this year on 4 occasions he's been within 2 points of those records. And when he had set them 2 years ago, basically he had done that once and had been pretty far from him the rest of the times he dove.
So more consistency from you.
Certainly. I'd have to say that's probably been one of the biggest things we've been working on this year is just to go in there, go with the flow and just see how it goes, and it's been working out pretty well.
All 4 school records. What does that mean when it's all 4 records?
Well, that's a pretty big accomplishment, I have to say, but I have the 1 meter 6 dive and 11 dive and 3 meter 6 dive and 11 dive. So basically it shows that I've tried to, go beyond what the records were at before, and I'm trying to beat my own records now, so it's pretty cool.
So as a diver, obviously, this is it's got to be something that's in your blood, right? You just, from a young age you want to jump off of things?
I'd have to agree with you with that. Yeah, definitely since I was a little kid, all I've been wanting to do is flip around and do crazy stuff, and I keep doing it, so.
So 1 meter and 3 meter. When up to the 10? When to the platform?
We'll see. Later on, actually, we're considering actually even doing platform later on. There's a meet coming up, the NCAA zone, and that's a qualifier for the NCAA, the national championships. And there's an opportunity to do platform, and who knows, maybe I'll be up there jumping off doing that too. So.
Well, you qualified for that 2 years ago, and you have another chance. This year you qualified, you're going to go. So what will be different? I mean, what does it mean for the program to have him at those?
It's really exciting for us. I mean, he's the only diver in the history of the program to go to this meet, and now he gets to go to it a second time. The way that meet works is basically the top 4 or 5 from that meet go on to the national championship. And 2 years ago, he was in the mix for a while. What that meet really comes down to is, as Ian was saying earlier, is consistency. it comes down to the person who makes the fewest mistakes is the one who's going to be the top in that meet.
So what will you take from 2 years ago? Because you went 2 years ago. Last year, of course, the injury. What will be different for you this time?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing is I now appreciate what I'm doing. Like before, when I had the injury, I couldn't even walk. So it's like I now have the opportunity to just do what I've been able to do and just enjoy it now. So I hope I can just go in there, relax, and just hopefully let things fall into place where they're meant to be. So
this weekend against the MAC championships, then on to the NCAA zones. Then what from there?
We'll see. Hopefully this summer, I'm looking to try and do senior nationals and then just keep going up and up. So we'll see.
You're looking for any assistance?
Am I looking for any assistance? Well, fortunately, we do, with his injury, we got a redshirt year out of the end, so we do have him one more season.
Exactly.
And we're really looking forward to him coming back next year and just continuing doing what he's doing.
Well, best of luck at the MAC championships at the Flickinger Center this weekend. Best of luck at the NCAA zones as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk to Chris Noonan and Cody Campbell, the two goaltenders of the Niagara Purple Eagles. I went to Dwyer Arena to catch up with those two. That's next on Purple Eagles Weekly. Welcome back here on Purple Eagles Weekly. We check in once again with the men's hockey team. We've talked to head coach Dave Burkholder. We've met a number of the high-scoring forwards with Brian Haychick and Paul Zanette. Now we'll check out who's going to backstop the Purple Eagles as they head toward the conference tournament. Cody Campbell and Chris Noonan from Dwyer Arena.
We both have our own routines. I know he likes to juggle a little bit before games and stuff like that. So,
how many and what?
I do 3 before every game. Just standard juggling, and then I do it off the wall too, and just kind of work on coordination just to get my hands going before the game.
Tennis balls, flaming...
Tennis balls, yeah, and then I use
no flaming swords?
No bowling pins, nothing like that, just standard tennis balls.
How about pregame rituals, meals? Is it the same thing? You try to get the same kind of thing going every day just to, you know, a lot of times goalies will talk about pregame routines, maybe envisioning things on the ice, all that stuff? I mean,
there's, with goalies, it's a lot of visualization. I wouldn't say, for me personally, I try to stick away from, you know, superstitions and too much of the same routine, because I feel like if you mess one thing up, then you're kind of, you know, off the rocker for a while. So, I mean, pregame meals and stuff, it's always the same because we eat as a team. So, you know, just pasta and salad and stuff like that. But, I mean, for me, just kind of try and think about the game as much as I can and visualize, you know, good habits and just try to prepare that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of opposite almost. I have a pretty set routine that I go through on game days. Nothing too crazy, but I definitely do different things at different times during the day.
Give us an example. Take us through it.
Well, get up in the morning. I make sure, I think I've brushed my teeth with the same toothbrush on game days since I was about 12 years old. Only game days I use it. Just a bunch of different little things like that. I gotta wear a tracksuit to the meals and stuff with and things like that. I could probably go on for days about this. There's a lot of different
Very
little
specific,
things.
though.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
specific. Well, you're new to the team. You just joined right around the Christmas break. So, tell us about comparing you to each other, Chris to Cody. Who's the better skater? Who's got the better glove? Who's got the better stick? Just because now that you're relatively new teammates, we're making some honest answers on you. So, who's the better skater?
Skater, I
would say I am. I think I am.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I take pride in my skating because I skate out a lot during the summers. I play inline hockey, and you know, I think I'm a good skater. So I'll take
he's
that
probably
one.
got that one on me. I haven't skated out since I was about 8 years old.
All right. Better with the glove.
That's tough. I mean, yesterday in practice,
Yeah,
we commented to each other saying we both had, you know, back-to-back glove saves. So
yeah, we were flashing the leather a little bit.
I would say Cody's got a good glove though.
Yeah.
He's quick. He's I think that's one of his games. He's really quick. You know,
How
with
about
his hands.
handling the puck outside of the crease? You know, going back on retrievals, because that's something that is a very, very underrated part of a goalie's game.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
can be
I think
hectic at times.
I think Noon's got that on me right now. I think he's a little bit more used to the speed of college and stuff, and he makes decisions a little bit quicker than I do right now. It's definitely something that I can learn from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad at playing the puck by any means. We actually joke around, and you know, a couple weeks ago he had a nice play where he didn't mean to do it, but he threw it up the wall and it landed right on somebody's stick out of the zone on a penalty or something like that. So it worked out perfectly. We're joking around saying, you know, couldn't do that again if I tried. But
Who leads the scoring race? You got an assist this
I
year.
got an assist, so
Yeah, I had one in junior, but I don't think that counts.
yeah.
Any empty nets where either you ever
No,
aim at
I
'em?
wish I would have tried, but it's not for me at least. I don't know about.
I've tried once in midget. I tried, but I put it right in the corner. Came right back down here for an icing.
Any goal celebrations that you have planned so far? If you ever get one?
I honestly, if I scored a goal, I'd be so shocked I probably wouldn't know what to do. You know, maybe jump up and down, dance a little bit, but other than that, I don't know.
I think I'd skate through, make sure I go tap hands with everyone on the bench.
And get the puck.
Oh yeah, definitely the puck.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for taking the masks off for a couple minutes with us, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And just this past weekend, a good weekend for both men. Cody Campbell, a career high in saves in a return home to Colorado Springs with lots of friends and family in attendance. And then Chris Noonan on Saturday in net in relief of Cody for the overtime win against Air Force. We'll check in next with women's volleyball here on Purple Eagles Weekly. Back here on Purple Eagles Weekly, Jeremy White with you on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet. We'll check in with the women's volleyball team and with a very special student athlete who's very busy and has found time to join us. Rebecca Suchy here, and you have lots on your plate, but somehow you found time for us.
Yes, I did. It's time management skills that I've learned over the years at Niagara.
Well, a senior volleyball player, but president of SAC, which is the Student Athlete Advisory Committee.
Yes.
So what does that entail to be the president of SAC?
As the president, it's my job to take student athlete concerns and bring them to the athletic department and take charge in that and fulfill whatever student athletes want to be done on campus.
What kind of concerns? Like an example, one that maybe somebody brought to you.
Maybe like practice times, like if it's too early or if somebody wants to take a certain class during a practice time, and then I bring that to the athletic department, and then they will come up with some kind of response to help both the student athlete, you know, feel better about if they can take that class or whatnot.
So that makes you basically the ambassador to student athletes.
Yes.
For student athletes when talking to the administration.
Mm-hmm.
How much time are you dedicating to that? How did you, I guess, what made you want to be in that position?
I really wanted to get involved on campus. Freshman year with volleyball, I was just new to everything, and I thought it would be a great idea to get involved with the athletic department since I love sports and just being with other athletes on campus.
And it's obviously a position that puts you in a leadership position. Do you enjoy that, and is that something that you also try to find time? I mean, if you're a leader at SAC, or you're a leader on the volleyball team, do you just find that you like to be in that position?
Yeah, I really like being in this position because I've met a lot of people, and I've met a lot of people outside of Niagara through SAC. We've done, every semester we try to do at least one community service event in the community, so that means that, you know, we're organizing every single student athlete to somehow get out in the community and be involved, and I just feel like it's a great opportunity for me to help other people do that and fulfill, you know, doing something good for the community as well as the university.
And you're overseeing over 300 student athletes?
Yes.
So you have a lot of friends, huh?
Yes.
A lot of people come to you when they need something?
Yes.
And you can get it done?
Yes, most of the time.
Most of the time. All right, well, talk to us about the back-to-back MAC championships, because for the women's volleyball team, in your 4 years here, this has been a pretty big leap from where you were to where you are now.
Yeah, actually last time I was in the studio was my freshman year with my two other seniors now. And from that time to now, we have totally changed the program right around. Coach Clements has done an awesome job working with our team. We're the 12 best friends I could probably ever have. It's been a long way coming, but it's definitely been the best experience of my life. This year we got to go play Penn State in the first round at the NCAA tournament, which definitely was a memory of a lifetime. I mean, playing at Penn State, and it's been an awesome opportunity.
What about that match at Penn State really sticks out? Like, what will you remember?
What I remember is running out for warm-ups in front of a crowd of probably 3,000 people, all in blue for Penn State, and then in the first and second game, I think we were actually leading against Penn State, and in the second game their coach actually had to call a timeout against us, which felt pretty good playing the national champions. So.
How about the MAC championships along the way, though? Because you're talking about the NCAA tournament, but the MAC championships have to be pretty special in their own right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Last year, my junior year, they were at Canisius, so it was nice to have. We had a lot of Niagara fans, student athletes come out and support us, which was awesome for the first time to just have everyone there, especially for that championship point. And then this year, MACs were in Florida at Disney World at the ESPN Wide World of Sports, which was pretty awesome to play in that facility. And
there are worse places to go.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yeah, and so that was really nice playing in Florida, and it was an awesome experience for my teammates and myself.
Well, you mentioned that you're really close. You're 12 of the best friends you could ever have. We just heard from 2 hockey players about their crazy superstitions. Do you have any, or can you kind of rat out any of your teammates who has really, really strange pregame rituals?
Yeah, we each have our own. It's kind of a big inside joke, I always have to have this purple and orange bow in my hair for every game. And then one of my teammates, Hannah, she always has to listen to the same playlist on her iPod before every game. So it depends. Some of us have, superstitions, but.
And one thing I wanted to also mention before we let you go is Coach Clemens, Coach Susan Clemens, you guys did something for her, and I thought that was a pretty good indication of just how close you are as a team.
Yes. This past fall, we did the Walk for Leukemia in downtown Buffalo in Delaware Park, which was a great opportunity for us to get out into the community. And the baseball team at Niagara also got involved with that, which was we paired up together and did the walk. And it was just an awesome event we could do for our coach and her family during their hard times, and they really appreciated it.
All right. Well, best of luck to you as you continue on as president of SAC.
Thank you.
And who knows what else.
Yes.
You're in a leadership position, so continue to lead.
Thank you.
All right. Rebecca Suchy here on Purple Eagles Weekly. Coming up next, the men's basketball team assistant coach Phil Martelli as we do our Meet the Coach segment here on Purple Eagles Weekly. Our Meet the Coach segment brought to you by Crown Plaza, Niagara Falls, the place to meet. Jeremy White back with you on Purple Eagles Weekly, and we're shifting to men's basketball with assistant coach Phil Martelli Jr. in your 5th season as the assistant coach of the Niagara Purple Eagles basketball team. So we have the bracket buster game on the way against Central Michigan, who you guys have played twice before, 2-0 against Central Michigan. So what are you scouting this time? What do you see this time?
Well, they have a pretty good team, and they were pretty good when we played them. It's 4 years ago and 5 years ago now. They're led by the coach's son, the coach Ernie Ziegler. His son, Trey Ziegler, was a McDonald's All-American, and this will be the 2nd McDonald's All-American we played this year, who also was playing for his father. We played Detroit. Ray McCallum Sr. was the head coach. Ray McCallum Jr. was the starting point guard. Same with this team. Ernie Ziegler, head coach. Trey Ziegler, leading scorer, All-American, the big deal. I think for our fans, it's an interesting matchup because there's not that many pros that have come through the Gallagher Center in recent years. Jason Thompson was one. There have been a few others, but this kid is a potential pro and worth coming to see.
What's the dynamic between coach and player who is son? I mean, obviously you're from a basketball family.
And I did it.
Yeah.
And I did it. I played for my father at St. Joe's. Now it works one of 2 ways. You can either be the best player or the worst player. So in the case of these guys, they're the best player. In my case, I was the worst player, so it really didn't matter. But all kidding aside, it really has to work that way. Because if you're the 7th guy and you're taking the 5th guy's minutes, there's probably a little bit of a conflict there in the locker room. But if you're the best guy, as Trey Ziegler is, nobody on that team can say, well, why is he playing X amount of minutes and getting X amount of shots? Well, he's by far your best player.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting dynamic, and it has to work the right way.
Yeah, I'd never thought of it that way, but that sounds exactly right, that you have to be best or worst because
you
no
really
one can
do.
question at all.
You really, really do. And you have to have good guys around you. If you have good players, good people around you, as I did at St. Joe's, they make it work. And for me, my father treated me like number 10 when I was on the court and Philip when I was off the court. And the guys respected that, and they saw that. And I would imagine that those 2 fathers and sons have the same dynamic.
Well, it's kind of a little bit of a full circle thing here. Central Michigan in the bracket buster game, and then Anthony Nelson's first career game was against Central Michigan. We've also got a big night coming up for him down the line. The 27th against Manhattan is his senior night.
His senior night. He deserves to have a great senior night. Everything that he's done at this school for this program, 4-year starter, has started from the day he touched the basketball in the Gallagher Center. He was a starter. He's done things that people have never seen in the Niagara program. He had a triple-double a couple weeks ago. He's the first guy in program history in over 100 years of basketball to have 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, 500 assists, and 200 steals. No one else in the history of the program has done it. Calvin Murphy didn't do it, Tyrone Lewis. You can go anywhere in between those guys. No one's ever done that. He deserves a loud, crowded Gallagher Center, and I would urge all of our fans to come out for that one. If you don't make it out to any of the others, especially that one. Students are on break, so it's going to be tough, but any of them that are nearby, I would really urge them, because he's not only a great player, he's a great kid. In my 8 years of coaching, he's one of my all-time favorites, and when he leaves, he'll be sorely missed.
And we've talked about him on this show a couple times. He was actually on a couple weeks ago, and I think one of the things that you could say about Anthony, especially with this season, the way the season's gone and him being the only senior, he seems like a guy who is heart and soul into the program. Like, just everything about it, everything that he does is representative of Niagara basketball.
He works himself to exhaustion, and I hope that people really appreciate that, because you don't see that a lot anymore, and he really has. It's kind of a disgusting thing to talk about, but he has thrown up in multiple games this year. and I mean, honestly, you don't see that in sport anymore. Occasionally here and there they'll talk, oh, this guy threw up on the football field. But it's because he's working so hard and putting so much into it that he pushes himself to that limit. And most guys will go 75, maybe 80%, but they're not going quite that far. He's pushed himself over the limit multiple times, and he really is. He's our heart, he's our soul, he's what makes us go, and hopefully for him we can have a great end to the season.
And hopefully for the program that rubs off on some of the younger guys as
Absolutely.
well. So Saturday, the 19th, the bracket buster game against Central Michigan, and Anthony Nelson's senior day will be the 27th against Manhattan. Best of luck this weekend.
Great to be here. This is a big night tonight. Big ratings on this one.
Very big, because you're here, of course. You bring the ratings. All right, well, that's it for us on Purple Eagles Weekly. I'd like to thank all of our guests, Ben Nigro, Ian O'Rourke, Rebecca Suchy, and, of course, the guys down at Dwyer Arena. See you next week on Purple Eagles Weekly.